everyone, and welcome back to Savage Bowling TV here for the 2019 Indiana State Queens Championship here from Championship Lanes in Anderson, Indiana. Hello, everyone. I'm Scott Gilmore, and joining me in the broadcast booth is PBA champion, two-time major winner EJ Tackett. And EJ, we've seen a lot of drama here in the match play portion of the finals, but right now the two survivors are Kimberly Woodall and Alexis Carter.
Yeah, it's been a crazy day of things that we've seen. We've seen balls go through the air. We've seen missed spares. We've seen some trip twos, some good breaks along the way. I think this is shaping up to be an exciting match.
Well, Kimberly Woodall looking to become the next two-time winner of this championship. She won in 2016. She's in the winner's bracket, so she's got to be defeated twice. Let's send it laneside here for Jeff Circle, who's going to announce the competitors here for our title match.
So if Kimberly wins this game, since she has not been beaten yet, the tournament is over. If Alexis wins this first game, we'll have a second game to determine the winner and who ends up with only one loss. So let's send them off with some applause. Good luck.
All right. Again, Kimberly Woodall, Alexis Carter in the title match of the 2019 Indiana State Queens Championship. Kimberly Woodall has to be defeated twice by Alexis Carter, so a lot here at stake for both players, not only the championship, but a chance to bowl for the USBC Queens Championship as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Kimberly has decided to start this match. Starts off with a strike. It's interesting that the higher seed decided that she wanted to finish last instead of finishing first. I know when I'm in this position, and obviously they didn't get any practice on this pair. I always want to finish first, being in that position. Now, understandably, Kimberly has to be beating twice, so if she does lose this match, the next match she probably will finish first.
She crosses over and leaves just the 5-pin.
And I think that shot there is just, we've had a little bit of a wait. She threw some shots on the practice pair, but I don't think she was fully back loose yet. So I think that's all it is. She gets a good break, gets 9. 5-pin, easy one in the middle of the lane. Should have no problem making this spare. Get a couple shots, get her legs back underneath her, and I think she should be okay.
All right, just underway here, the championship match. Alexis Carter, winning through the loser's bracket, has to defeat Kimberly Woodall twice to claim the tiara and the championship trophy. And a lot of money at stake here, too. $1,200 for first place.
It's a good day's work.
Yeah, one day. Yeah, you're right about that. We're going to have the scores following along, and if you look closely enough, you might be able to watch a little bit of PGA Tour action as well. Oh, as we're taking place. Anyway, now Alexis Carter here on the left lane, working on a spare. Kind of stuck at the line there.
Yeah, a little bit better shot, though.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, you know the ball's working well when it slaps out this 10
Yeah,
pin.
and that's something we see. I've seen a lot the last 2 weeks with Norm winning.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been known for having that 6-pin nice and late and just slapping the 10 out. Something I hate watching because
Right.
I know when he starts getting that hit that he's doing the right thing, his ball's doing the right thing, and then you remember, yeah, that's Norm Duke.
Yeah, and now Kimberly Woodall working on a strike.
And oh no,
5-7.
I
Boy.
thought that was a much better shot than that. It looked like the ball might have hung on her hand a little bit, but it looked much better than the result.
Yeah, she wasn't anticipating that kind of pin reaction.
No, honestly, the shot that she threw, I would have expected maybe a flat 10, not a 5-7. See if she can convert. I think she's got a chance.
Oh.
A little wide.
All right, open frame here.
She loses count, too. I know we've talked about this a lot today. Count can be so important because how many times have we seen matches today lost by less than 2 or 3 pins? It's been quite a few times today we've seen that with some of the ladies missing single pins or not getting count on strikes in the middle of a game. So this, even though it's really early in the game, could come back and bite her by the end of this match. And maybe by the end of the tournament if she doesn't go on to win.
Consummate pro there, and Kimberly comes back after the open with a solid strike. We want to thank our sponsors of the Indiana State Queens, Pinheads Bowling Center and Fisher's Big Four Socks, Mike Alby's Arrowhead Bowl in Lafayette, and Motive Bowling. Get motivated. And now Alexis Carter back up on the right lane, working on a strike, frame 3.
And this is a spot where she can really take advantage of that open frame in the second from Kimberly. Oh my goodness.
Thought the 7-pin was going down, and it stands up.
We're going to need a score correction down here.
Even the
even the scorer said
even
it
the
should have been a
scoring
strike.
monitor, yeah. Boy, that tells you something. So I can't quite tell. It looks like it might be.
It looks like it's the 7-pin's about to fall off the deck.
That's why it didn't score it. Well, she's unaware of the scoring error, so we're going to have a couple of frames to correct here, I think.
But that's no problem. She just needs to cover this spare up. And she does.
Yep.
And
so we'll get her to hold up.
Yep.
Yeah, frame 3 just needs to be 9 spare, and frame 4 for Kimberly needs to be erased.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a delay here with some score correction, but
again, want to thank
terrible.
Thank the staff here. Angie Collop, the general manager of Championship Lanes here. She's taking care of the score corrections, and her and her staff do a tremendous job of hosting major state events for the bowlers. Obviously, 3 events here. The Queens, the State Masters, and then we also had the Indiana High School Bowling State Finals, something you're very familiar with too as well.
Yes,
You're
I am.
Past state champion.
Yeah, a lot of memories in this building. I've been bowling here for a very long time. We've bowled a lot of high school and junior events in this building, and it's cool to come back. I enjoy bowling here. Wish I had more time to bowl the Masters and things like that out here. Hopefully I get to do that again soon sometime.
All right, left lane here, working on a spare.
Good shot.
10-pin.
2 really good shots that could have struck as easily as they got 9. And how differently the early way this match was going could have been. Maybe even if it had that 7-pin fallen, maybe she gets up and throws a little bit better shot in the next one, and that is a missed 10-pin.
Oh.
This is what we're talking about. We've seen this all day. We've seen so many missed single pins today.
Yeah, and you just don't want to give your opponent any break whatsoever.
No, when you get in title matches, you have to stay really focused on the spares. The spares are what gets you to a championship win.
Now working on a strike.
Oh, nice break with the trip 4.
Trip 4.
Looked like she made a little bit of an adjustment off the last shot over there, that 5-7. Looks like she moved right a little bit. And she might have a problem with that right lane like we saw earlier today. A little bit of oil gets down lane. That ball just doesn't want to finish and go through the pins as well it has been earlier today.
Well, she came in light on that lane and left the 5-7, and then comes in a little high and trips the 4. So we'll see what kind of adjustment she makes off of that.
It might just be a little bit clipped, where if you get it into the hook spot a little bit, it's going to overhook, get it in the oil, and it wants to go straight. And there's the overhook.
The 6-7-10.
And that's unfortunate because she had struck both times on that lane 2 shots previous. It's always terrible to go strike twice on a lane, split on the other lane, and then strike on it, and they come back to the lane you haven't missed on yet, and split. And she's only
That's
going
got
to
a
get
chance.
one here. And she's given up 4 pins in count already this game.
Yeah, she would have 83 in the 5th. which would have kept her within 5 pins of the match. Now all of a sudden, Alexis can come up here and take a 9-pin lead. Really just took the lead sitting on the bench. Here we go, right lane, working on an open in the fourth, fifth frame.
This could be a huge double if she can get up here and throw 2 good shots.
Comes in high, 6-10.
Overhooked just a little bit.
Of course, you know, you have a ton of experience in stepladder finals and in final matches. I mean, even all the times you've been on, I'm sure there's still a little bit of anxiety and adrenaline that you have to keep in check as well, right?
Every single time, no matter how good you get, at least in my experience, and the things that you've done or not done, it never goes away. It's always there. You always have to try to keep it in check. It's not that it doesn't go away. You just learn how to deal with it over time, and that's one of the biggest things that I had to do throughout my career. Early on, I didn't know how to deal with it, and it took me a long time to learn how my body reacted and what it did to the bowling ball. And once I learned how to do that, I've had a much better success rate on TV. Obviously, I don't win all the time, but I feel like I bowl much better games now.
Right.
And give myself a better opportunity to win.
All right, 6th frame here. Both players having some trouble here on 9 and 10.
Yeah, these lanes have been bowled on all day. We re-oiled before the match play, but we've had quite a few games bowled on them. And I think where these 2 ladies are playing on the lane has just been burned up. And I think they're going to have some problems maybe carrying because both of their rev rates are a little bit lower. So if they try to move left off of it, their ball is going to tend to not want to get through the pins the right way. It's going to maybe leave some flat 10s. And I think whoever can control the pocket the best, pick up their spares, and catch a double is going to be the person that wins this championship.
All right, 8-pin deficit now here for Kimberly Woodall in the 6th frame, working on an open here in the 5th.
The good thing for Kimberly, she's opened twice, but she's only down 8 pins.
Comes in light.
Wow,
Wow.
what a bad break that was.
That was a weird leave. That ball was light in the pocket and leaves the 4-7.
And I think that 4-pin is actually the 5-pin. That's what it looked like. Like her ball hit the 5 and it was falling over and the head pin came off the wall and stood it back up.
Yeah, it's definitely off spot from the 4.
Which could create a problem of not making the spare. But I think she's going to go and head and have no problem making that one. But hooking at that one was actually probably better than throwing it straight, judging by how far off spot that 4-pin was. I think it would have been really easy to chop it straight off if you don't hook at that one.
Well, Kimberly has the experience of winning this event before, but really neither player has the experience of being on TV, which adds a different element to this.
Yeah, even though, we're just on an online service here, we're not, broadcast nationally, but when there's a camera behind you and beside you and you can see it out of your peripheral vision and you know it's there, it creates some nerves.
Well, and
she comes back with a really good shot there on the left lane.
And we fully expect when we post these shows that we're expecting thousands of views, so they know that a lot of people are going to end up seeing this broadcast in one way or the other. And not only are you bowling for a championship and a lot of money, you also are bowling in front of a lot of people in their minds as well. So just like you're saying, adds another element to the pressure.
Oh, good shot there. And absolutely, you're absolutely correct there. Because if you've seen some of the other videos that you guys have done throughout the past year, I was talking to Jeff, and some of those videos are approaching 20,000 views.
Right.
So if you've seen those and you know that, and you're on this show right now, and you think, wow, 20,000 people might see this.
Right.
That might add some nerves to this.
I need to bowl pretty good here.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm sure for you guys, there's a difference between a taped show and a live, right?
Not really, because during good
nice
shot
strike there. Big double for Alexis.
Absolutely taking some advantage.
18-pin lead now for her.
there's not much difference because even on the tape shows, we still have commercials and stuff like that. They still build in the commercials into the show. So there's not a lot of difference between a live and a live to tape show.
Right.
And that's what we call it. It's normally live to tape.
Right.
So they'll do the taping, and then if there needs to be editing, they do that at a later date. But so far this year with the new Fox deal, almost all of our shows have been live, which is absolutely fantastic because I know that's something that people wanted. And here comes Kimberly back with a double of her own.
She's like, "Get down, 7-pin."
Yeah, it ain't gonna stand up this time.
Do your job. Well, we try to be quiet. We are directly behind the championship pair with nothing blocking our sound, so we don't want to, distract the bowler as well.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is we don't have Randy's not here. Randy's a great commentator, but his voice carries far. And she gets the 7 out again.
Yeah. Take that. So now a 3-bagger for Kimberly Woodall, and now Alexis Carter, the pressure goes right back to her.
Absolutely. You know, Kimberly had it on her coming out of the 6th frame, but she's put it right back on Alexis with a turkey. But Alexis still has the ball in her court. She can win this game.
This is to take back the lead.
That looks a little left.
Oh, and it goes left, and she leaves the 6-pin.
And that opens the door for Kimberly to go ahead and take this championship in the first game.
Well, and if you're Kimberly, that's when you want to do it. Because then all of a sudden, if it goes to a second game, now the pressure changes.
Extra life to Alexis.
Yes.
I get another chance.
Right. Well, she still has a 2-0 pace here.
But nothing Alexis can do now at this point can shut out Kimberly.
Oh.
But she needs to throw a double to force Kimberly to throw a strike of her own in the first one in the 10th.
Well, 206 is the score Alexis can shoot with 3 in the 10th. 219 for Kimberly Woodall.
She needs this. Looks pretty good.
Needs to roll up.
Oh, nice shot.
Nice shot.
One more of those to really apply some pressure to Kimberly.
Yep, this is the big shot of the game right here.
Yes.
This one forces Kimberly to get the first one.
Yes. If she doesn't get this one, it still forces Kimberly to get good count with a spare and still have good count. So if she goes spare here, that would force Kimberly to go 9 spare 9. This looks pretty good.
Oh,
wow, nice
what
shot.
a shot from Alexis Carter.
2 perfect shots on this left lane. And now, even getting another strike here adds another level of pressure to Kimberly because she has to strike, and then she has to get at least 8 on the next shot to be able to win this championship. 7 would be 7 strikes. Strike 7 spare would be a tie. Anything less than 7 would be a loss.
Fill ball, 10th frame.
This could be huge.
Well, it goes up high. She gets 8.
Loses a little bit of count. She still forces her to get the first one, but makes that second shot in the 10th just a little bit easier.
Well, if you're a competitive player at any level, this is what you dream about.
This is what you live for right here.
This moment.
A chance to win with 1 shot.
Here she goes. Strike to win. Anything less, Alexis Carter will get another game.
It's for Kimberly to win her 2nd title in a matter of 4 years. Oh, this looks pretty. Oh, it just didn't hook. It just didn't hook.
Well, it looked like the placement was right where she wanted it.
I thought it, from our vantage point right here, it looked pretty good.
I don't know if it didn't come off her hand very clean but now.
Now we're going to go to a game 2.
It's going to be a game 2. It just shows you how important filling the 10th frame putting pressure on your opponent. Like you said, EJ, you were surprised that Kimberly didn't set up to where she finished first.
Right. Yeah, I want to get that out of the way the first time, because if you have a chance to win or shut out your opponent, you want to do that and be the first one done. And I'm really surprised that Kimberly didn't take advantage of that the first game to try to set herself up for that.
Well, she's in that position the second game, but in her mind, you don't want a second game. You
Right.
were hoping to end this after one and be done. But now,
Alexis has new life.
absolutely. Now you got to think a little bit of the pressure has to shift back to Kimberly, because
Absolutely.
now she's in that lose and I'm out kind of situation. So 195 to 204.
Both ladies have one loss, so we're going to bowl one more game. Whoever wins this game is the 25th anniversary 2019 Indiana Queens champion. Good luck to you.
All right, game number 2 now here. We'll get the lane number 9 reset. And again, thank you for watching the 2019 Indiana State Queens here on Savage Bowling TV. Scott Gilmore, EJ Tackett in the booth. We're down to our final game to decide who will win the 25th anniversary of the Indiana State Queens Championship. Kimberly Woodall and Alexis Carter. Want to thank our sponsors for the Queens here on Savage Bowling TV. Pinheads Bowling Center in Fishers, Indiana. Big Four Sox. Mike Alby's Arrowhead Bowl out of Lafayette, and Motive Bowling. And with those sponsorships, we have been able to broadcast all 3 state championships here on Savage Bowling TV. First, we led off with the Indiana Scratch Classic, won by Jean Perez. And then we did the Indiana State Masters, won by Jean Perez. And unfortunately, Jean could not bowl the Queens.
Yeah, his wife did, and that would have been a
Yes.
impressive trio.
Yeah, she bowled well, just not good enough to
And
get to the
Alexis
top
getting
16.
right back at it, starting off this game with a strike. And I know you said this before, but I feel like Kimberly missing that shot in the 10th and having a chance to win, it kind of deflates you. You know you have another chance to win, but the momentum has completely shifted, all in the favor of Alexis.
Wow.
Great break there.
Yes, she would have loved to have that one last game. Well, speaking of Jean's wife, Nicole finished 32nd, plus 32. So still a good, solid bowling for her.
Absolutely, it was.
And
It would have been cool if she'd have
Yeah.
maybe made it into the match play a little bit and made a little bit of a run. Would have been a cool story.
Well, and Jean will be at the World Series of Bowling competing again. She wanted that one.
Yeah, that looked pretty good. It looked like she threw the ball a little bit harder and went with a little bit more direct line to the pocket. Trying to eliminate that early hook and that cliff, as we call it, where, you know, if you get it to the dry, it overhooks, you get it in the oil, just kind of goes straight. I think she was trying to eliminate that a little bit on that shot. It seemed to work pretty well. She missed the 10 pin again.
Boy, and you don't want to do that.
No, and this is the second game in a row where Kimberly started out with a strike and come back in the second frame and opened.
Yeah, and Alexis Carter bowled the first squad this morning and shot 924. So she has, this is, I'm assuming, game 12 of the day for her right here. She bowled every round in match play. And this is round 9. So that's 9 games. This is game 13.
Wow. Yeah, there could be some
Oh,
could be some fatigue, you know, at this point. The only thing you may have going for you, your adrenaline gets up, your nerves are going. So sometimes that fatigue kind of goes away when you get into a title match like this. I think it's more prevalent before you get to this match.
Yeah, your mind's racing, and then it's tomorrow is when you start feeling
right.
that.
Or when you get home tonight and you lay down in
Your
bed and you're like,
legs are-
wow, I am exhausted.
My legs are killing me. Right. Yeah. She misses the spare.
Again, we talked about that 310 earlier. That is not one of the spares that you want to have to make to stay in a championship or to win a championship.
Right. Well, and Natalie said, yeah, we talked to her earlier today that, she gave kudos to Michelle Irvin about making the 310 to beat her, in that match.
Yeah, I seen it one other time. I was at Bowling Juniors a long time ago, and Andrew Koff needed to make a 310 to win a match in junior gold, and he absolutely nailed it. And that was a great shot there from Alexis, and it was one of the most impressive things I'd ever seen. This was almost 10 years ago at this point, but
Andrew was a fine youth player.
Fantastic bowler.
Who
I got the pleasure of bowling a youth PabCon event with him in 2011 in the Dominican Republic. Him and I bowled doubles together there. We won gold, and then himself, Marshall, and myself bowled the trios event, and we also won gold in that, and that was pretty cool. And another good shot.
Yeah, and the 7-pin cooperates.
Got that late 7 out.
And she strikes in the third, and tie match here after 3. And a lot of people don't realize that Andrew had all the tools to play at a high level.
He really did. He decided that he went to Duke and got an engineering degree. So I think his dad was in the field, and that's what he wanted to pursue. I'm not too mad about it because that boy was a really good bowler.
Yeah, he could rev the ball up.
That looks pretty good.
Oh, nice shot there from
nice swisher. I think that's the way that Kimberly's going to have to start playing these lanes and playing for that little swisher. She left that flat 10 when she threw it in the pocket. So I think for her to carry, she's going to have to play that little swisher and play the pins off the wall.
Well, that's going to force Alexis to follow suit here in the 4th frame. We might have Deadwood, I think, possibly here. We can't see that on our side from.
Yeah, it's on the 7-pin side on lane 10.
So the staff here will walk down and take care of that. And while she does that, we'll again thank everyone for watching the Indiana State Queens here on Savage Bowling TV. We'll be back on the air April 6th and 7th with the Collegiate Club Championships at All-Star Bowl. That'll be broadcasted on Bowlstream TV, but Savage Bowling TV will bring you all the live action from that collegiate event. And then we'll be back in Anderson, Indiana in May for the middle school state finals.
This looks pretty good.
Oh, cooperate 7.
And again, Alexis doesn't get that 7-pin out. It is giving her fits in this match against Kimberly.
Both players have had an issue with the 5-pin taking out the 7.
Yeah, it's just getting a little bit lazy over there and wanting to just lay in front of it instead of getting over there and taking care of it.
Well, that's going to make the spare. That's going to give a 10-pin lead to Kimberly Woodall.
She can go ahead and make that one.
And, you look at, what I love is Alexis's demeanor here. Well, ho-hum,
Yeah, I think
doesn't look nervous. Neither player looks nervous.
I think she's just riding the wave of, she got some good breaks along the way today, and like we talked before, she's playing on house money, so she's just kind of like, well, I probably shouldn't be here, but I am, and I'm just going to try to make the best of it.
Now 5th frame.
Pretty good shot there. Nice. Slaps the 10 out. Perfect.
Just always have liked the carry in this center. It rewards you if you got a nice loose arm swing and just put the right touch on it. I always feel like the carry percentage in here was a little higher than most other houses.
Yeah, it's always been pretty good. After they put these pins in instead of the old twister pins.
Yes.
The twister pins were good when you hit them light because they flew everywhere. But if you threw good pocket shots, I felt like you left a lot of ring tents. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice shot. She liked it off the hand.
Yeah, she did.
A three-bagger now.
She's just playing that splasher again.
You know what's next here on this shot. You're not following suit here. What would Rob Stone say if she gets...
I'm getting ready. I'm just waiting for it to happen first.
All right, well, I figured you knew. I just didn't know.
I wasn't going to announce or curse it.
That's right. Good call. All right. 6th frame. 3 in a row now for Kimberly. Oh, that's left. Oh.
See, you talked about it.
Yeah, my bad. Write that in my book of broadcasting. Never say a word. Less is more.
Exactly.
All right.
And now we got double wood here.
Tough spare.
Yes.
The 3-9.
And this is not one you shoot at very often as a right-hander.
Right. You can almost sense that she knew how big that shot was in the match.
Yes.
And
yes.
kind of
Takes
squeezed
a huge
it.
lead. Right. That needs to hook a little bit. And another open frame, letting Alexis right back in the match. If Alexis can double here, she will actually take the lead back and be ahead in this match again. She struggled on this right lane so far. Let's see if she can make an adjustment. She does perfectly.
Yes.
Wow, what a shot.
She goes from down 6 to up 4 just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now can take a 14-pin lead here in the 7th frame. On a lane she's had a lot of success on.
Yeah, this
lane
is what
9.
I talked about earlier where, you finally figure out the lane that you couldn't strike on. I feel it's so hard to go back the lane you haven't missed on yet and throw a good shot. This is one thing that I personally struggle with when I'm bowling on tour, that you're trying so hard to figure the other lane out that you almost get a little lazy on the other lane, and then you're kicking yourself walking off the approach.
That looks good.
Not the case with Alexis. Perfect shot. Those have been 3 really good shots in a row.
Her ball really rolls up hard at the down lane.
It does.
Gets through the fronts really clean and then really reacts to the dry lane, and the ball, you can just see it start changing the core and so forth, changing as it's going down the lane.
Yeah, and as her ball gets tumbling, the harder it tumbles down lane, the better her carry gets.
Now a big shot here for Kimberly Woodall.
Looks pretty good.
There she rips
nice
the rack
shot.
in the 7th. Now she can cut that 4-pin deficit, or 14-pin deficit to 4 with a strike here in the 8th.
If it comes down to it, Kimberly, if she doesn't win this championship, that 2nd and 6th frame, she will kick herself all the way home. Missing a single pin. Now the 3-9 isn't a gimme spare, but if you lose by single digits, it's gonna be a tough one to swallow.
This looks good.
Needs to hook.
Oh, and
nice.
it does.
Gets the nice kick out on the 7.
The pin action takes out the 7, and now if she cuts the lead to 4, and now Alexis needs to continue doing what she's doing.
Absolutely. She threw a really good shot on this lane the last time. Let's see if she can continue suit. I guess the last 3 shots have been absolutely fantastic. They've been perfect.
8th frame. Oh, got up high.
Yep.
Looks like she missed actually a little right, and the ball checked up early.
And she really needs to focus on this spare. Run it down. Get back on this left lane. Make a good shot. Kimberly's going to have a chance. in the 9th and 10th to put away this championship again, but you have to keep the pressure on her.
Well, a 2-pin lead now for Alexis.
I think she'll make the spare.
Yep. Now it's important, like you're saying, EJ, to
It's very important right
have
here.
a strike going into the 10th.
Because if Alexis can strike here, Kimberly knows that she can't miss. Because if she misses before the fill shot, Alexis will have a chance to win this championship.
All right, 9th frame here. Spare in the 8th. Title, match, final game. Foundation frame.
Nice. She missed it a little bit right, but it picked up perfectly.
Never missed at all on the left lane.
Nope, she had that lane down.
Now.
Perfect. It's all up to Kimberly again. She has the ball in her hand. She has to throw 3 strikes to shut out Alexis.
And the interesting point here is Kimberly's never missed on the right lane, but has missed 2 out of the last 3 on the left lane, and she's got to finish the match on the left lane.
In the first match, those were flip-flopped. She was better on the left lane. That's a little left. Oh,
my
no.
goodness. A 4-9 in the 9th frame at the most.
Wow. It was a little left, but she did not deserve that split.
At the worst of times. You have to go for this.
You have to go for it at this point.
There's nothing about getting an extra pin here, in my opinion. I think you got to try to make it.
Yeah,
You know,
because
Norm Duke did,
absolutely he did.
and he knew he needed to make it. Yep. It's got a chance.
Hook.
Oh,
Close. Good try.
it's going to give her 160 or 170 in.
She can strike out for 200. If she gets them all, it still forces Alexis to spare.
Right.
And then we come back to the 2nd frame and the 6th frame. She picks up her spares. She has another 20 pins.
Yep.
That would force Alexis to have to strike out in the 10th instead of just have to get a spare. Even if she just makes the single pin in the 2nd frame, gets her to 210, if she can strike out, that looks pretty good. All right, good shot, good shot.
Great shot. And, you know, you feel bad when you're just a fraction of an inch off, right? And, I mean, you're talking maybe, what, a quarter of an inch being off from that being 10 in the pit to a 4-9?
Yeah, on the 4-9, yeah, absolutely. She threw a good shot. It was a pinch left off of her hand, but, man, it was a much better shot than the result.
Oh, now here's the important shot. This forces.
If she gets this, it forces her to spare. It looks pretty good, too.
Oh, she
nice.
gets it. And I'm telling you.
And still, at this point, she needs at least 7. Actually, not even that many. Sorry, she needs 5 to force Alexis to have a spare, because if she went 9 out, that would give her 194. So she needs at least 5, which she should have no problem doing, to force Alexis to spare. And we've seen spares aren't a given today.
Well, you're thinking, oh, get left. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
It doesn't really matter.
Nope.
Good finish in the 10th frame. 197 for Kimberly. And if you're Alexis, you're not thinking anything about a spare. You're thinking about throwing 10
Oh,
back.
absolutely. You're trying to just throw the best shot that you can. Get it over with this one ball.
Here we go. 10th frame. Strike or a spare. Alexis Carter is your champion.
Oh, that looks pretty good. It looks good. Nice.
And there's a strike, and Alexis
your
Carter.
2019 Indiana State Queens champion, Alexis Carter.
What a run for her in this championship.
She needs 1 pin.
And I know where this ball is going.
It's going right down the middle of the lane.
It's going down the middle of the lane. And I'm sure
Stay behind the line and keep it on the lane.
And I'm sure a very difficult time for Kimberly Woodall, who was the undefeated player in the winner's
And
bracket.
officially, there it is.
That'll be the winner, folks.
Absolutely.
Alexis Carter.
Congratulations, Alexis.
Your champion, your 2019 Indiana State Queens champion. We'll take a short timeout and talk with the champion, get the check and trophy and tiara presentation here on Savage Bowling TV. All right, welcome back to Savage Bowling TV here at Anderson, Indiana, inside Championship Lanes, where we have now crowned the 2019 Indiana State Queens champion, Alexis Carter, and with the trophy and tiara and check presentation from the USBC Indiana State Board, Kerry Kane.
Thanks, Scott. I want to thank Scott Gilmore, Savage TV, and today's special guest, EJ Tackett from Motive. It's very special to have you guys here. Our sponsors, Motive, Pinheads, Big Four Sox, and Mike Albee's Arrowhead Lanes. Congratulations, Alexis, on the 25th Annual Queens Championship. I got a few presents here for you. First of all, I have a nice diamond-shaped trophy with a Queens thing. We have a $500 check. No, my fault. $1,200 check. And everybody's want the Queens Championship tiara.
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
This year's champion.
All right, thanks, Kerry. And now, Alexis, what a long day of bowling that culminates in you being the 2019 champion. Let's talk about the match play portion of this as you bowled in every round. And EJ and I talked earlier that you were playing a little bit on house money because you got a break against Lisa Seyfarth early, and now you find yourself defeating Kimberly Woodall in 2 games. Reflect on how your day went.
To be honest, I really was just throwing the ball, hoping for the best. I'm not a conventional bowler. I don't look at a mark necessarily. I'm just kind of an area bowler. So I'm really just throwing the ball, excited to be here, hoping the pins fall my way.
Now, as you walked yourself through this title match, and both players going back and forth, you know, with a tough error or an open frame. Your 10th frame there, you bowled great in the first game where you threw 2 strikes. How were the nerves throughout the 2-game match against Kimberly?
I was very nervous, actually. But again, I really rely on, I'm just going to throw the best shot that I can and hope for the best. But it was nerve-wracking pretty much for the last 3 hours.
Well, imagine this. You win the Indiana State Queens, and now you get an entry into the USBC Queens. What do you think of that?
That's very exciting. I've never bowled USBC Queens, so I'm excited.
Well, Alexis, congratulations on your championship. Your 2019 Indiana State Queens champion, Alexis Carter from Valparaiso, Indiana. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll wrap things up here from Championship Lanes, Savage Bowling TV. All right, welcome back to Savage Bowling TV here from Championship Lanes in Anderson, Indiana. Our 2019 Indiana State Queens, the first ladies broadcast here on Savage Bowling TV has been concluded, and Alexis Carter from Valparaiso, Indiana, your 2019 champion. And Scott Gilmore here with EJ Tackett as we wrap things up here from Championship Lanes. And EJ, you know, I asked Alexis there a little bit kind of the house money theory as she got a couple of breaks, but she parlayed that into some fantastic bowling and a championship.
Absolutely she did. She got some really good breaks early on, and like you said, she was able to capitalize on every single one of them, got her to the title match, and she was able to deliver this great last game and come away with the championship.
Yeah, not only does she win the Indiana State Queens, but now she gets an entry into the USBC Queens, and she gets to bowl against all the top PWBA stars. I'm sure that's got to be exciting for her.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely probably one of the best experiences of her life, at least in bowling. And it could mean a lot of big things, going out there and bowling, and if she's able to, make the cut or make some match play and make a run there as well, anything can happen.
Well, we thank you for your time, EJ. I know you're probably heading, tomorrow to Detroit?
I am, actually. Yep, I'm going to go home tonight and sleep in my bed for the 13th time this year, and then go ahead and head to Detroit tomorrow, and hopefully I can put a good week together and make a couple shows.
I believe the first telecast for FS1 for the World Series of Bowling is March 18th.
I believe so.
And maybe we'll see this guy on more than one show. So that's the hope, right?
That's the plan.
All right, for EJ Tackett, Chad Lester, our producer. Again, your champion, your 2019 Indiana State Queens champion, Alexis Carter from Valparaiso, Indiana. Thanks for watching the Queens Championship here from Savage Bowling TV. We'll see you later.